As Sir Keir Starmer revs up to almost certainly take over the keys of number 10 on Thursday, there's a discussion about how much work a Prime Minister needs to do. You can think of Mrs. Thatcher, who famously worked until 12 and then was up at 3. Winston Churchill, Harold Wilson. It's harder to establish, do you want to be working all the day, all the hours that God sends? Is it about the number of hours worked or the effectiveness of the leadership? Thatcher was renowned for her rigorous work ethic, often starting the day very early, working into the night, and she was known for her minimal sleep, typically about 4 hours a night, and spent her weekends reading and working on her red boxes, dealing with government papers. Her dedication was exemplified by her involvement in significant events like the Falklands, where she demonstrated relentless determination and energy and hands-on approach to leadership. And of course, in the Brighton bombing, she was still working when the bomb went off early in the morning. Churchill also had a demanding schedule, especially during World War II, and he was known for his ability to work long hours and with unconventional work habits, which included working from bed and taking frequent naps to maintain his energy levels, and baths, dictating things from the bath to his secretaries who crouched outside the door. And his leadership during the war, including his strategic decisions and inspirational speeches, showcased his effectiveness despite his heavy drinking and cigar smoking. Harold Wilson, on the other hand, was known for his more relaxed approach compared to Thatcher and Churchill. His leadership was marked by his intellectual prowess and his ability to manage a team of strong personalities. While he may not have had the same grueling hours and the same devotion as Thatcher or the wartime pressure of Churchill, Wilson's effectiveness was seen in his handling of the economic and social reforms during his tenure, which simply was not matched by Callaghan or really anyone who came after him. And the comparison of these three leaders touches on their personal habits. Thatcher and Churchill's drinking habits didn't seem to hinder their capacity to lead effectively, although these traits were part of their larger-than-life personas rather than prerequisites for leadership. Regarding Sir Keir Starmer's approach, his emphasis on work-life balance, particularly spending time with his children and stopping work early on a Friday, reflects a modern perspective on leadership. But, setting the example that things stop at a particular time will have a knock-on effect all the way down Whitehall. Starmer believes that maintaining personal time helps him remain effective and grounded, much the same as Cameron. Cameron was quite relaxed, quite laid back, quite louche, particularly at weekends in Chequers. He was able to switch off, which is probably why he failed to read the mood of the country as Brexit was approaching, as the referendum was approaching, and his approach contrasts with Rishi Sunak's more traditional, intensive work schedule, highlighting a shift in how leadership might be perceived and executed in contemporary politics. Ultimately, the effectiveness of a leader is not solely determined by the number of hours that they work, but by their ability to make impact, thoughtful decisions, to manage crisis, because it's, of course, events, dear boy, that determine the direction of a prime ministerial career and how they inspire their teams. And while historical leaders like Churchill and Thatcher had grueling schedules, Starmer's approach suggests that a balanced life might lead to a more sustainable and effective leadership, might even lead to 3 terms in today's context and with the aspirations of a workforce today. But who knows?